Hi, this is Marco Flores. I'm going to explain you about the types of sentences according to the structure. Simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, compound complex sentences. We will have some exercise practice for practice and concluding a paragraph. First, simple sentences. What is the meaning? A simple sentence is a single independent clause that expresses a complete thought. What is the structure? It must contain at least one subject and one verb predicate. Indirect object. The indirect object comes before the direct object and tells to whom or for whom the action is done. For example, the cinema gave the students free tickets. My own example, the professor assigned the class a difficult project. Now we will see the compound sentences. What is the meaning? A compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses joined together. What is the structure? Independent clauses are typically joined by a coordinating conjunction. We know like fanboys, for and nor, but or yet and so, with a comma or by a semicolon. Indirect object. One or both independent clauses can contain an indirect object. For example, I baked John cookies and he made me some coffee. Our example. She sent her mother a postcard, but she forgot to buy her father a gift. Now we will see the complex sentences. What is the meaning? Complex sentences contain one independent clause and at least one dependent subordinate clause. What is the structure? If the dependent clause starting with a subordinating conjunction like because, although, if, where, come first, use a comma. If the independent clause comes first, no comma is generally needed. What is the indirect object? The indirect object usually resides in the dependent clause. Example, while studying for the exam, she explained her classmate the concept. Our, our example, because it was his birthday, I bought my brother a new watch. You see that example. Next, complex sentences. Wire new surfers bottle with balance, seasoned surfers cruise with style. This is the dependent clause. The the blue uh, sentences. That is the dependent clause. What is the indirect object? One or both independent clauses can contain an indirect object. So now we will see the compound complex sentences. Compound complex sentences. Read the sentence. How many independent and dependent clauses can you see? You will see. As soon as I heard the news that I qualified for the surfing competition, I called my parents and we made plans to celebrate. You will see two independent clauses. The first one is the black sentences. Black color. As soon as I heard the news that I qualified for the surfing competition, that is the independent clause. I called my parents. Also, that is the independent clause, number two. And dependent clause is, and we made plans to celebrate. That's why we call compound complex sentences. What is the meaning? This type contains at least two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. What is the structure? It combines the rules of both compound and complex sentences using both coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. What is the indirect object? Example: before the Spanish conquered Peru, the Incas had built a walled city. The street visits the ruins. Note this: indirect objects can be added to the independent portions. Example: the Incas showed visitors their architecture. Our example: although it was raining, I gave the gardener his payment, and he handed me the keys to the shed. One exercise to practice. Identify I-O in the sentence. The teacher gave the students their grades, which word for the indirect object? Students. Other sentence transformation. Turn these two simple sentences into a compound sentence. I found the book. I gave it to Mary. What is the transformation? Answer: I found the book and I gave Mary the book. Other exercise to practice. Structure in the identification. Since I was hungry, I bought myself a sandwich. Simple, compound, or complex. That is your practice. What is the concluding summary paragraph? Learning sentences structures is vital to clear communication. A simple sentence like "I wrote my friend a letter" provides a direct statement. When I want to add more detail, I use a compound sentence. I wrote my friend a letter, but he never replied. To show relationships like cause or time, I use a complex sentence because I missed him. I wrote my friend a letter. Finally, for high-level detail, the compound complex sentence is best. Because I miss him, I wrote my friend a letter and I sent him a small gift as well. That is a summary paragraph about this topic. May God bless you.